things the people can really make it a fast grasping people only. There will be no problem from our side.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. If you could do is share your number also, it's not a
I'll
problem. I
I'll
will share the textbook.
okay, okay.
I'm having
I'll
the soft copy of textbook.
okay, okay,
I will share it to you. You can share it on the
okay,
big screen
okay.
so that I can view
Ah,
from my side and I can proceed.
yeah, yeah. For today's class, as go with your as convenient. Sir. Tomorrow class onwards, I'll make it everything ready. So students,
Uh,
are you anyone join with laptop? Students, ఎవరన్నా మీరు laptop తో జాయిన్ అయ్యారమ్మా? హలో హలో
Yes, sir.
ఎవరన్నా ల్యాప్టాప్ తో జాయిన్ అవుతే ఒక్కసారి చెప్తే కనుక సార్ నాకు సాఫ్ట్ కాపీ పెడతారు, అది నువ్వు షేర్ చేస్తూ ఉంటే కొంచెం విజిబిలిటీ బాగుంటుంది కదా అని.
Yes, sir. Laptop.
సార్ సార్ కెన్ ఐ షేర్ మై నంబర్ సార్?
yeah, sir. You
Sir.
can share, sir. No issue.
9865.
1 minute, sir. 1 minute. Nine eight double six five
299
299
Only 7 days left అని వచ్చింది కానీ
23.
ఇంకేం రాలేదురా.
29923.
ఓకే ఓకే.
SMS కి వస్తుందేంటి?
Okay.
ఓతనేలు ప్లీజ్ మ్యూట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్.
Sir.
ఓతనేలు ప్లీజ్ మ్యూట్ యువర్ సెల్ఫ్. Okay. Sir, if you share with me, you can start continuation, sir. I'll share my in class group. They will share you, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Sir,
Yeah, sir.
you
Okay.
can
Okay.
start, sir. You can start. Meanwhile, thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, okay, sir. Fine, sir. Thank you.
నే- నే-
Just give me a few more minutes so that I can share this. Okay. Hello, sir. Hello.
Yeah, good
Yeah, is
evening,
it
sir.
on? Yeah, good evening. Yeah, have shared the PDF to sir. If the document is shared, one can share with the what you call laptop or desktop. The page number you can open in that particular document.
Just a moment, sir. I'm gonna share the screen.
Yeah.
Sir, is screen visible to you, sir?
Yeah.
Uh,
I could able to see the screen. Page 96. In page 96, you can open the 96th page.
yeah.
Sorry,
Is it visible to you, sir?
yeah, I could able to see.
Yeah, should I have to go to this 96 page or else any other page?
Sorry.
Uh, as you said, you make
You
to
can
turn on
start
to
from
96 page,
91,
right?
91, 91. 91 is your
Just a moment, sir. Just I'm
starting thing.
scrolling
Yeah.
upward.
Yeah.
I think this is the page.
Yeah. Introduction to software testing is your
Yeah,
first slide, right? That is testing methodology is there. According to me, 91 page, it is having testing methodology where we are having the introduction about all the three chapters which are related to the first unit. So where it is having introduction to software testing terminology and methodology, verification and validation. Yeah, exactly. Where you are sharing is exactly what I am saying. Right. So a quick confirmation from your end. I hope I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in this particular session, we will try to cover these three topics. That is introduction to software testing terminology and methodology, and verification and validation. Okay. So coming to the first part. So moving on to the down, that is 92nd page. So where we are having the introduction to software testing. So in this particular portion or in this particular chapter, what we will be coming to know is should be able to understand. So how software testing has evolved over the years. So what are the myths and facts of software testing? So what are the software testing is a separate discipline. Testing is a complete process, and the goals of software testing. Testing is based on a negative destructive view and model for testing process. Complete testing is not possible. Various schools of software testing. So after reading the first part of the first unit, first part, we will be coming to know that is what is a software testing is and what are the how the software testing has evolved over the years. That is from past to till date, how the software testing has come into the existence and what are the myths that are available with the software testing and what is the reality and what are the facts of the particular myths that what we are assuming or what we are thinking. Right. And we will be coming to know the several objectives which are displayed for us in the 92nd page. Okay. So coming to the software testing. So what do you mean by software testing? Can anyone say? Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, we are able to hear your voice.
Okay. Then I could not able to get any response. That's why I'm asking again. So what do you mean by software testing? And the one who is sharing the screen, no? Could you please make it as second paper, that is second slide? Yeah, here we are discussing about what we are going to see in this particular first part of your first unit. So after reading those things, that is after reading the first chapter, we will be coming to know all these points. So first, my question is, what do you mean by a software testing? So what do you mean by at least software development?
Sir, it is nothing but developing an application to the user interface.
Okay, fine, very good. So what about the testing? So once your application is being developed, will it be kept idle, or is it be going for any testing phase so that is it working properly or not can be known?
Yes, sir, it will be tested whether
Yes,
it
sir, it
meets
is the
its
process
requirements
of
or not.
evaluation.
Yeah, it can be done through testing, sir. So in the testing process, when the application is being done, we will be able to check whether there is any bugs or bugs fixing, or else it is having any glitches that we need to fix furtherly in that way.
Yes. Yes, very good. So here we will be speaking about the introduction to software testing. That is, what do you mean by software testing? That is, once an application is being developed, how it is functioning, and what are the functionalities that the software is possessing. If we are if it is having any bugs, errors, or anything else is missing in that particular software, is going to be found out once it is going to be going through the testing phase, right? So here it is called as your software testing. So whatever the product that we are having, if you could able to test that particular software, and if you could able to find out the pros and cons of that particular product, then we are very much done with the testing of that particular product. Okay. So how the process or the evolution of software testing is has come into the existence. So here, in the early days of software development, software testing was considered only the debugging process, right? So in the past, it was considered only the debugging process for removing errors after development of the software. Okay. So by 1917, this term software engineering was in common use, right? So in early 1970s, the software engineering is the commonly used term which was there in the field of software testing or software engineering, we can say, right? So but the software testing was just beginning of that time. So at that time, that is in 1970s, it was the just beginning of the software engineering or software testing, right? So in 1978, G.J. Myers realized the need of the discussing the techniques of software testing in a separate subject. So in 1970s, it was a common term with and software testing. But in the 1970s, Myers found few things which came that is which gave birth to the software testing and software testings. Uh, what we can say separate subject, that is software testing as a separate subject, that is software engineering and software testing are not the same, so we are having something different apart from software engineering, like that he said in the year of 1978. So who wrote the book of the art of software testing, which was a classic work on software testing, right? So he wrote a book which is called as the art of software testing. That is how we could go for software testing and what is the difference between the software engineering and software testing. And then he proposed few things in that particular book which gave the difference between the software engineering and the software testing. Okay. So by 1980s, the professionals and organizations started emphasizing on the quality. Okay. So once it was proposed by Myers in 1978, in 1980, the software professionals and organizations started emphasizing on the quality. That is how the quality of the product can be tested and how the quality of a software development team or software development is going to be tested. All these things came into the existence in the year of 1980s. So organizations realized the importance of having quality assurance, that is quality assured teams to take care of all the testing activities for the project right from the beginning. Okay, that is the organization started going for the testing right from the beginning phase. That is, if you are taking your waterfall model as one of the test case, that is waterfall model as one of the case for your project development, starting from the inception phase, that is requirements gathering till the deployment. So they have started testing each and every phase of that particular waterfall model, that is requirements gathering till the deployment. What are the things that are happening with the within the project and how it can be overcome with the help of the other factors have been taken care with the help of the testings. Okay, so in the 1990s testing tools finally came into the their role. Okay, so in 1980s also it was everyone's uh, thinkings, but in 1990s testing tools were came into the existence, which are the uh, which gave the lot of tools came into the existence in the 1990. Okay, so if you could able to check with the diagram, so we could able to see the evolution phases of software testing in the page number 94. Okay, so where we are having uh, Gelpian Gelpernin and Heritage have characterized the growth of the software testing with time. That is from time being to time being. That is starting from the requirements gathering till the deployment. What are the various phases that we are associated with, and how we are going to go for the testings. That is given in this particular picture. So, which is giving us the complete idea about the various phases like debugging oriented phase, demonstration oriented phase, destruction oriented phase, evaluation oriented phase, prevention oriented phase, process oriented phase. So like that, we are having various phases in evolution of the software testing. So in 1957, so first we came out with the debugging oriented phase, so which is having the checkout of getting the system to run and what are the debuggings that we are having that we could able to found out. And then we came out with the demonstration phase, that is demonstration oriented phase, so which is having checkout of the program increased from program runs to program correctness. That is, so in the first phase we came out with only up to debugging. In the second phase we came up with the solutions, that is with the corrective measures which we need to take from the debuggings that also came into the existence. Then we came out with the destruction oriented phase, which dealt with the separated debugging from testing. and testing is to show the absence of errors and effective testing. So which came into the existence in the 1979 and 19 in between 1979 and 1983. So which shown that the software is not only having the errors or debuggings, we could also able to give some solution, that is errors we need to rectify, and we need to go for the effective testing, that is we need to go for finding the multiple number of faults, and then we have to go for the solutions that came into the existence in between 1979 and 1983. So then we came out with the evaluation oriented phase, so which dealt with the quality of the software, and then it also gave birth for the verification and validation techniques. So where we need to focus on what is to be needed, that is what is needed and what is to be added, and everything has to be tested with the help of this particular evaluation oriented phase. So then we came out with the prevention oriented phase, where we could able to go for the bug prevention rather than bug detection, that is, so instead of getting any errors or any mistakes, we could able to write the error free programming or error free development that could be better. Like that, we came into the existence within the 1988 to 1996. So then we came out with the process rather than a single phase. That is, we could able to have multiple number of phases as a cycle within the project development, and we came out with the particular solution for the software, that is evolution of software testing. That is, so initially we could have only one phase or part of the phase, then later it became at least one phase, and then later it became at least 2 to 3 phases or multiple phases, we can say, and then it came into the existence of the complete process of what is we are doing or what we are developing and how we are completing the complete software development. So that is how it is came into the existence since 1957 till the 1996. So these are also called as the evolution phases of software testing. So completely how many phases we are having in software testing?
5 pages.
5 or 6?
6 pages, sir.
So clearly we, but the years of duration is 5 years within this short span of 5 different year spans. So which may be ranging from 1957 to 1996. So the first phase we are going to say it as in between before 1950s we said, and then it is 1957 to 1979, and then it is 1983 to 1988, and then it is 1988 to 1996. Okay. So here in the debugging oriented phase, what we are seeing or what we are doing here is this phase is the early period of the testing. So as we have discussed, at the time testing basics were unknown. So that is also fine. So programs were written and then tested by the programmers until they were sure that all the bugs were removed. So what we are doing in the debugging oriented phase, once the program is being written by the one person or multiple persons, we are the task is to find the debuggings, and we should make sure that there are no bugs, that is all the bugs are going to be removed or no bugs, we can say. So the term used for testing was, so here they have used the different term, that is checkout, focused on getting the system to run. So that is checkout in the sense every bug is being completed, or the term used for a testing was the checkout in the earlier days. Okay, so debugging was more general term at that time, so it was not distinguishable from software testing. Okay, so the debugging was the most generally used term, so which is we can say it as it is a not separate word apart from the software testing. Software testing and debugging are going to be the interrelated, or both are the same terms like that we used to say in the 1957. Okay, so till 1956 there was no clear distinction between software development and testing and debugging. Okay, so until 1956, before the existence of this particular phase, that is before 1957, there were no separate terms there were no separate terms for development, testing, and debugging. So it was used as a single word, which may be as checkout or software testing or software development. So everything was used as a single term, which meant the same thing. But after coming into the existence of debugging oriented phase, we could able to know the difference, what is a debugging is, what is the error freeness, and all those things we came into the existence once the period of debugging oriented phase has come into the existence. Okay, so then it came into the existence of demonstrated demonstration oriented phase. So the term debugging continued in this phase, that is whatever we have seen in the first phase has been continued in this phase. However, in 1957, Charles Baker pointed out the purpose of the checkout is not only to run the software but also to demonstrate the correctness according to the mentioned requirements. Okay, so what are the requirements of the user? We need to give according to that person's requirements is proposed in the year of 1957, that is later part of 1957, by Charles Baker. Okay, so which is giving the simple meaning that so debugging is only not finding out the errors, but it is the error correctness, that is we could able to give the complete solution to the whatever the user is asking for the uh, whatever the user is asking from the developers end. That is error free product or error free software we need to develop and we need to give it to the customer, is that meaning. Okay, so thus the scope of checkout of a program increased from program runs to program correctness. Okay, so initial stage it was the only thing that the program should able to run, that is program could able to run without any errors. Okay, so now it has coming to the existence of without having any errors, that is program has increased its term to without any errors, it has to run very properly. Okay, so moreover the purpose of checkout was to show the absence of errors, right? So in the first phase we could able to show the only errors, that is checkout was used for only showing the errors. And in the second phase, that is in the demonstration oriented phase, so we could able to show it is without any errors and it is running correctly. So there was no stress on the test case design. Okay, so there was nothing much stressed on the test case design, that is how the testings are going to be undertaken and what are the test cases which are available, right? So in this phase there was a misconception that the software could be tested exhaustively. Okay, that is something went wrong, was that was the misconception which was available or which was there in the testers minds or which was there in the users minds, that the software could be exhaustively tested. Okay, that is the thinking of the testers or that is the thinking of the users who are taking the particular software. Okay, so in the first phase checkout was created, that is debugging is done. And in the second phase, including debugging, we need to go for the correctiveness of the code that is demonstrated to the customers, right? So in the third phase, that is in the destruction oriented phase, so this phase can be described as the revolutionary running point in the history of the software testing. Myers changed the view of testing from testing is to show the absence of errors to testing is to find more and more errors. Okay, so here instead of showing the absence of errors, here it is finding more and more errors is came into the existence in the years 1979 to 1982. That is, once you are getting more and more number of errors, then you could able to make your product as more effectiveness. That was the thinking which was given by the Myers in 1979 to 1982. Okay, so he separated debugging from testing and stressed on the valuable test cases. They explore more bugs. That is, so where the multiple number of times the testing is being taken, there you could able to find more and more bugs. That is, so once your product is coming for your testing, you should go for multiple number of attempts for testing it to find more and more number of errors, right? So once you are getting more and more number of errors, then you could make it that is, you could make your software as much easier and much effectiveness. That is, with much effectiveness you could release the product into the market is the meaning. Okay, so the importance of early testing was also realized in this phase. That is, what are the things that we could able to go for the um, next phase, could able to easily realized in this particular phase. Okay, so the first phase is checkout was used, then checkout with correctiveness was used, then we use testing again and again to get the product done with more effectiveness. So then we came for the evaluation oriented phase, which is in between 1983 and 1987. So with the concept of early testing, that is, so if you are having any thing to be tested before the product is going to be released to the customer, or before the product is going to be going for any of the phases, that is requirement phase or inception phase or construction phase or deployment phase or any other phases. So before we go for the starting of that particular phase, if we could able to test ourselves, then our product is going to be very much effective in the market, is the meaning in the evaluation oriented phase. Okay, so with the concept of early testing is what realized that the bugs were identified at the early stage of development. It was cheaper to debug them as compared to the bugs found in the implementation or post implementation phases, right? So because, so when you are finding out any mistakes or any bugs in the initial stage, the cost is going to be very less. So once you are finding later part of the development, then it could be taking more and more number of amounts of money for spending. So because so once you are getting any kind of errors or any kind of bugs at the initial stage, that is, if you are taking our waterfall model as one of the reference for your SDLC, that is software development life cycle. So if you are having our waterfall model, so first phase is here, we are going to gather the requirements, then we are going to go for the planning, then we are going to go for the construction, then we are going to go for the designing, then we are going to go for your testing and all, and then finally we are going to go for the deployment. So if you could able to get any of the errors at the beginning stage itself, that is, once your requirements are being gathered from the customer for your further level, so if you could able to get all the errors at the beginning, then your cost will be very less because you have not started further phases. So once you are getting any sort of errors or debugs at the next stage, that is in the planning stage, so even though it would be bit difficult, but you could able to sort out the errors, that is sort out the bugs, and you could still able to go for the solution. Then the cost will be increasing little bit more as we discussed in the first phase, that is our requirements gathering phase. Okay, so as these stages are increasing, that is, as the process is increasing from one phase to the other phase, once you are asking for any modifications from the development team or any software industry or any of the team, then they will be charging more because they need to remodify all the phases, whatever the work they have done, and again they need to go for the testing, or again they need to go for your further proceedings. Okay, so it would be taking more and more manpower and more stress they will be feeling. Okay, so they will be charging more, right? So that is why, so evaluation oriented phase is having, so early testing phase, it is having early testing phase. So once you are uh, okay with your early testing phase, then it would be better. Whatever the errors that you are getting, that is whatever the debuggings that you are getting, we could be able to easily find out. But if you are getting your debugging at the later part of your testing, then it will be costing you more amount than the whatever that we could able to get at the initial stage. Okay, so this phase stresses on the quality of the software products such that it can be evaluated at every stage of development. So what we are saying, at each and every phase, as we are checking for the errors, so here it is speaking about the quality of that particular product at each and every stage. That is, here the phases are going to be treated as each and every stages. That is, requirements gathering is one stage of debuggings, then designing is, sorry, planning is another set of stage, and code writing is another set of stage, testing is one set of stage, and deployment is another set of stage. So like that, it is taking these stages. Every stage of development is going to be taken as one phase is going to have its own phases of quality, how the quality is going to be, and each and every phase is treated as here a stage. Okay, so in fact, the early testing concept was established in the form of verification and validation activities, which help in producing better quality software. Okay, so all in all, what we are trying to say is, so if we could able to find out what are the mistakes in the project at the earlier stage, then we could able to easily go for verifying the product details, that is what is to be included and what is not to be included, and what are the additional things that we need to focus. Everything is going to be known with the help of our verification and validation. That is, if it is, sorry, if you are trying to keep n number of modules into your product, so all those things are needed, or only few are needed, have to be finalized with the help of verification and validation. That is it really needed for this particular product? So if it is needed, then what are the things that need to be added? So if it is not needed, then how can we justify that these are the things that are not needed for this particular product? That that thing we need to go for the justification. So here the process whatever we are adopting is called as our verification and validation activities. That is, this is needed, this is required, this is not required, this is this thing, this is that thing, that we need to able to, that we could able to easily identify, and that we could able to easily justify with the efforts that we are putting in. Okay, so in 1983, guidelines by the NBS, that is National Bureau of Standards, were released to choose a set of verification and validation techniques and evaluate the software at each step of software development. Right. So in 1983, we come out with different set of activities which are to be undertaken in the verification by National Board of Standards. Okay, they have released a few of the standards. That is, they have released a few of the activities which are needed and which are not required for the testing phase. So this is the next phase that we are having. So first we are having checkout, then checkout with correctness, then we came out with multiple types of checking for error free. Then we came out with evaluation oriented, that is how it is functioning, how it is to be, right? So how the bugs are being captured, or how the bugs are being identified, then what we need to overcome at each and every phase, that we came to see in the 1983 to 1987. So then we came out with the prevention oriented phase, that is 1988 to 1995. So the evaluation model stressed on the concept of bug prevention as compared to the earlier concept of bug detection. So here they came out with the bug prevention. That is, before we get any bug, we are going to prevent it rather than after getting the bug, we are detecting. So with the idea of early detection of the bugs in earlier phases, we can prevent the bugs in implementation or further phases. Okay, so we could able to easily identify and we could able to easily prevent the bugs rather than after coming the bugs we are going to detect. We are avoiding it at the earlier stage. That is, we are preventing it before they are going to be coming in that particular software. That is the development we can say. So then we came out with the process oriented phase in 1996 onwards. We came out with the process oriented phase. So in this phase, the testing was established as a complete process rather than a single phase performed after code. So from here onwards, we are considering all the phases, that is one phase after the other phase, right? So, but sorry, we are considering it as one phase after the other phase as a single unit, but not as a separate unit. Okay. So in this phase, testing is established as a complete process rather than a single phase. So in the software development life cycle, that is SDLC. So the testing process starts as soon as the requirements for the project are specified and it runs parallel to SDLC. Okay, so the requirements are being specified and it is running with the help of, that is, it is running in parallel to the SDLC. That is requirements gathering, planning, requirements gathering, planning, coding, designing, construction, deployment, all those things. Okay, it is running in parallel to the software development phases. Okay, so moreover, the model is measuring the performance of the testing process has to be that has also been developed like CMM, that is capability maturity model. The model for measuring the testing process is known as testing maturity model. So here we are saying it as the TMM, that is testing maturity model. So first one is capability maturity model, and here we are using testing maturity model for the testing one. So thus the emphasis is in this phase is also quantification of various parameters which decide the performance of a testing process. So here we are speaking about the quantity, not the quality. So we are speaking about the quality also, but with the help of quantity, we are speaking about the quality of the particular product. Okay, so the evolution of the software testing was also discussed by Hunku Nguyen and Rob Ferozzi in a white paper, that is in a white paper in three phases, namely software testing 1.0, software testing 2.0, software testing 3.0. These three phases discuss the evolution in the earlier phases that we described. So according to this classification, the current state of practice is software testing 3.0. Those phases are discussed below. Okay, so here as we have discussed about all the 6 phases, we are also having 3 different phases, that is software testing 1.0, software testing 2.0, and software testing 3.0. These 3 testings are also similar to our these 6 phases, that is our debugging oriented phase, demonstration oriented phase, destruction oriented phase, evaluation oriented phase, and prevention oriented phase and process oriented phase. But the terminology whatever they have used is a little bit changed in software testing 1.0, 2.0, and that is 3.0. So in 1.0, software testing is just considered a single phase to be performed after coding the software in SDLC. No test organization was there, right? So a few testing tools were present, but their use was limited due to high cost management was not concerned with the testing, as there are no quality goal. Okay, so in software testing 1.0, what they are thinking is, in this testing phase, it is just considered as a single phase to be performed just like with the SDLC, and no test organization is there in this phase, and few testing tools were present, but there was limited due to high cost. That is, testing tools are there, but they are restricted because of its high cost, we can say, right? So the management was concerned with the testing, as there were no quality goals. So they are focusing on only the testing, but not about the quality. That was there in the software testing 1.0. So in second 2.0, that is in 2.0, in this phase, the software testing gained importance in SDLC, and the concept of early testing also started. So this phase is started here. Early testing is started here, we can say, evaluation oriented phase. So it is similar to 2.4. Okay, that is, testing earlier is started. Early testing was started. Testing was evolving in the directions of planning for the test resources. Many testing tools were also available in this space. So here we are taking care of uh, testing in the early phase, and then we are having some directions how we need to go for testing, and many testing tools were available for the testers to go for the testing. Then came into the existence of the software 3.0. So in this phase, software testing is being evolved in the form of the process. So what we are adopting now is based on the strategic effect. So it means that there should be a process which uh, gives a roadmap to the overall testing process. So this is the process which we are as of now adapting to the projects. Okay. So this is 3.0, right? So, and this is the concept of how the evolution of software testing has come into the existence from 1950s till the 1996 and above. So hope this concept is clear to you guys. So if it is clear, then we can move on to the next phase. That is next topic. Yeah, clear?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Right. So how many phases we are having? We are having completely 6 phases, which are again given as 3 different software testings. That is software 1.0, software 2.0, and software 3.0, as separate names, which are given by separate author. That is, uh, which were written in a paper by Hung Kyu, Juan, and Rob Firozi in a white paper, right? So these are the names given by these people, that is software testing 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, by these people. And this process, whatever we are following, is the evolution of software testing in the market from the ancient days to till date. Okay. So the next topic, what we are having is software testing myths and facts. Okay. Software testing myths and facts. So before getting into the details of software testing, let us discuss some myths surrounding it. That myths are there as this field is in growing phase. Okay, what are the myths that we are having, and what is the truth that we are associated with the myth? Right. So myth is an assumption, or myth is something called assumed by the various people like testers or developers, or the persons who are involved in this particular phases. So here we are having various myths related to software testing, and the facts which are already available in the market. Right. So let us see one after the other, and then we can go for the next topic. Okay. So the first myth is testing is a single phase in SDLC. Right. So what it is saying, testing is a single phase in SDLC. So is it the truth which is there in the evolution of software testing? Is it the same, or is it having any other phases? Yes. So first myth, what we are having is testing is a single phase in SDLC, that is software development life cycle. Testing is a single phase, we are saying. So is it the same, or is it having any other meaning in the SDLC? That is, what is the truth that we are having? So what we are doing in SDLC, that is software development life cycle, what we are doing? Anyone? Yes, what we are doing in SDLC, that is software development life cycle. Is it treated as a single phase, or it is the process? It is treated as a process, or is it treated as a single phase?
Like it is treated as a process.
It is treated as the process, sir.
Yes, it is treated as the process. That is the truth which we are having. But what it is saying here, testing is a single phase in SDLC, it is saying, right? So it is a myth. So at least in the academia, that software testing is just a phase in SDLC, and we perform testing only when the running code of the module is ready. Okay. So when the code, that is running code of a particular module is ready, we will be going for that particular testing. But in reality, testing starts as soon as we get requirement specifications for the software. That is, once we are starting for the project, or once we are starting for the development of any software, whatever we are starting or wherever we are starting, so our testing is starting from there itself. That is, in the first phase, from the first phase onwards, we are going for the testing, and we are going for the implementation. So in the initial stages, or in the initial phases, what we are testing, so what are the requirements of this particular phase, and what are the functionalities of those requirements we are going to test with the help of customer and developer. So customer is going to give us the multiple number of inputs, and based on those inputs, we are going to test whether it is going to fit into this particular product or not. We are going to check. Okay. So in reality, it is a complete process starting from the requirements gathering till the deployment. So, but it is, as a myth, it is saying it is a single phase in SDLC, right? So, and the testing work continues throughout the SDLC, even post implementation of the software also. So even though we are deploying the project to the customer, this testing process is continuous, because once after deploying the product to the customer also into the market, if you are getting any kind of errors, that is any kind of debuggings, if you are getting, so the customer is going to come and ask you the changes, that is modifications or updations. So there you need to go for update it, modify it, and best product to the customer. Okay. So this is a continuous process, but it is not a single phase in SDLC. That is the first myth we are having. So what is the other myth that is having is testing is easy. So the one more assumption is, what we are assuming or what we are thinking is testing is easy. So is it that much easy when it is coming to the reality? Yes, testing is easy. Is it easy in reality?
No, sir.
Right. So when you are thinking about testing, you should know what are the updated tools that are available in the market, what are the things that are associated with the project, what are the various aspects that are associated with the project. Everything has to be known within the project and in and around the complete the era, that is in and around the complete locality, and what is there in the nationwide, what is there in the countrywide, and what is there in the international wide. Everything has to be known. Okay, so testing is not that much easy. So this myth is more in the minds of students who have just passed out or are going to pass out the college and want to start the career of testing. Okay, so what they will be thinking is testing is so easy. I can be going and joining a company as a tester, like that they will be thinking, so that their job is done, like that they will be thinking. So the general perception is that software testing is an easy job, wherein test cases are executed with testing tools only. Okay, so what they will be thinking, so they will be thinking that test cases are going to be easily passed, and everything is going to be easy in the market, and it can be executed very easily with the tools that are available in the market. Like that they will be thinking, that is uh, the college passed out students will be thinking. Okay, so but in reality, tools are there to automate the tasks and not to carry out all the testing activities. So testers job is not easy, as they have to plan and develop the test cases manually, and it thorough understanding of the project that is being developed with its overall design. And overall, testers have to shoulder a lot of responsibility, which sometimes make their job even harder than that of the developer. So why testing is not easy in the sense, so once you are a tester, you should know each and every nook and corner of that particular product in and out. Okay, so in general, what we will be thinking, testing is very simple and it is easy. So what is there in testing, like that the options will be there for the users, that is particularly a college or passing out student, right? So but when it is coming to the reality, a tester should have more knowledge than the developer, and they should possess more knowledge in testing each and every module that is available in the product, and they should give the best results for the users when it is coming in terms of the quality, quantity, and every aspect. So they should have a clear plan of how to test the complete module, or how to test the complete software, or how to test the complete project as a whole. They should have every idea about that particular project. Okay, so at times, what is happening in the sense, so a tester should have more knowledge than a developer, because a developer is going to develop the code that are required for the users, or that is required for the users, which it could be existing in the market for the more than 3 years or more than 10 years or more than certain period of time. But the tester's job is to test whether it could fit into the market with effectiveness or without effectiveness. He has to judge it. Okay, so testing is not that much easy task as we people thinking. Okay, testing is not easy in reality, but assumed that it is going to be very much easy in the reality. Okay, so the first myth is testing is a single phase in reality, that is single phase in SDLC. That is also not happening, because it is a complete process starting from the requirements phase till the development and deployment. And testing is easy is other misconception uh, which is being adopted by the users, but it is also in coming to the reality, it is also not that much easy, because It should possess lot of aspects and it would possess lot of things, right? And the next myth is software development is worth more than testing. Okay. So what is the other myth is software development is worth more than testing. That is what they are saying or what we are assuming is development is more than what we are testing, that we are saying or that we are assuming. But in coming to the reality, is it so? So development is more important than testing. Is it so? Software development is worth more than testing. Is it so? Development is development is having the much importance or testing is having much importance with an edge.
Testing is having the more importance.
Right. So testing is having little bit edge on development because the developer is developing the code with respect to or in view of the um, customers requirements or the market fitting and all those things, and the tester has to test whether it could fit into the market, that is whether it could be surviving in the market for the next few more years or few more days or the span of time it has to be there, right? So he has to test and he has to give the justification of what he is testing or what he has tested. Okay. So let us see what is the truth that is associated with this myth. So the myth prevails in the minds of every team member and even to the freshers who are seeking jobs. As a fresher, we dream of job as a developer, right? So we get into the organization as a developer and feel superior to other team members. At the at the manager level also, we feel happy about the achievements of the developers, but not of the testers who work towards the quality of the product being developed. Thus, we have this myth right from the beginning of the our career, and testing is considered as secondary job, but testing has now become the became as an established path for job seekers. Testing is complete process like development. So the testing team enjoys equal status and importance as the development team. So what is in reality is happening is, so as a developer, that is as a code developer, you will be thinking that I am the superior than anyone else because I am writing the code and I am designing, sorry, I am completely writing the code, whatever is required for the user, and I am giving the best code out of ourselves, that is best code out of myself, that we will be thinking, right? So here, coming to the reality, so whatever the code that you are writing has to be tested properly. So once your coding is being done from your end, but there are no testings whether your code is perfect or not, then it is of waste. Okay. So here the software developer and the software tester nowadays in current scenario, they are having the equal importance. Okay. So there is no case that one person is superior and one person is lower than to the other. So the software development is what more than testing is going to be the case. That is each and every person is having the equal importance. That is developers are also having the importance and testers are also having the importance. So where the developers role is to develop the code and to hand over for the testers, there the testers are testing the entire process, that is whatever that they have developed, and then they are giving the complete results for the people, that is whether it can fit into the market or not, if it is going to be fit into the market, how the process is going to be, and how it is going to take an edge over the developer. Okay. So then the other myth what we are having is complete testing is possible. So that is the one more myth that which we are having. So when it is coming to the complete testing, myth also exists over various levels of development team. Almost every person who has not experienced the process of designing and executing the testing cases manually feels that complete testing is possible, right? So then complete testing is at the surface level assumes that if we are giving all the inputs to the software, then it must be tested for all of them. But in reality, it is not possible to provide all the possible inputs to the test the software, as the input domain of even a small program is too large to test. Okay, so what we are thinking in general is, so we could able to give all the inputs, that is, we could able to give all the inputs into the testing, then we can go for uh, the complete testing of the product. But it is when it is coming to the reality, we are having the lengthy of course, which is if you are going to give a small bit of module code also, it will be of multiple number of pages, right? So if you want to test the entire process of the particular testing, that is entire process of the particular model, it will be taking more and more number of amount of time. So complete testing is not possible at times, and complete testing is also not possible, we are saying. So because it is taking or it is consuming more amount of time. So as the code is as we are speaking about the code development and testing, it is having more number of lines of code, right? So as a human, as a manual person, we could able to test few lines of code, and as automated also, we could able to easily test n number of lines. But if it is going beyond that, it is not that much easy. Okay, so complete testing is not possible, that we are what we are trying to say. So here, moreover, there are many things which cannot be tested completely, as it may take years to do so. Okay, so if it is a small module code, then it is easy to test. If it is a little bit larger code, then also it is easy to test. But if it is a huge code, it is going to take more and more number of uh, much period of time. So at times it is going to take years also. Okay, so that's why we say it as complete testing is not, sorry, complete testing is not possible in reality. Okay, so the next myth is testing starts after program development. So in reality, is it the same case? Testing is starting after project development, that is program development. Is it so? Testing starts after program development, is it so?
No, sir.
When it is starting? At each and every stage it is available, or is it starting at the fewer stages later?
Few stages later, sir.
Testing.
Yes.
Testing starts testing starts after program development, they are saying. So in reality, is it the same thing that is happening, or something is different it is happening?
When we get the specifications.
So what is the assumption over here? After program development only, we could able to go for testing.
No, sir.
But in reality, what it is happening from the requirements gathering phase, that is from the first phase also, first phase itself, we are going for testing, right? So in reality, that is happening, but myth is saying that testing starts after program development. Okay, so the truth is most of the team members who are not aware of testing as a process. So as a process, when we are speaking it as a process, still feel that testing cannot commence before coding. Okay, what the team members are assuming, or what the team members are thinking is, so once the development is done, we are going for the testing, but it is a complete process from the beginning till the last. Okay, so but this is not true. Okay, so as mentioned earlier, the work of tester begins as soon as we get specifications. That is, from the beginning only our task is going to commence. That is, the tester's task is going to commence. Okay, the tester performs testing at the end of the every phase of SDLC in the form of verification and validation, right? So verification and validation, he will be going on with the process, and then if anything is missing, he writes the detailed information about what is missing, where it is missing, and how we need to overcome those things, right? So testing is a complete process, but it is not going to start after program development. Okay, it is the reality versus our myth what we are having. Then coming to the next myth, the purpose of testing is to check the functionality of the software. So the purpose of the testing is to check the functionality of the software is one more myth that what we are having. Is it going to be the same thing? That is it same? So what we are intended to do, we are intended to check the quality of the product, that is quality of the software. So, but what we are assuming, or what is the myth is saying, the purpose of testing is to check for the functionality of the software. Are we checking the functionality, or are we checking with the quality of the functionality?
Quality of the functionality.
Quality we are checking. Okay, not though we are going for the checking of the functionality, we are checking the quality of that functionality, how it is giving the result that we are checking. Okay, so today all the testing activities are driven by the quality goals. Okay, so ultimately the goal of testing is also to ensure the quality of the software, but quality does not imply checking only the functionalities. So here what we are saying, it is not only dealing about the functionalities of all the modules. There are various things related to the quality of the software for which test cases must be executed. Okay, so it is not the case of how the functionalities are going to be executed or how the functionalities are going to be performed. It is how functionalities are going to give us the best results, that is how the quality is going to be tested, that we are going to check in the software testing. Okay, so that is the assumption, and that is what we are having as a reality. Okay, so the next myth is anyone can be a tester. Is it so? Anyone can be a tester?
No, sir.
No, right? So the one who is having the knowledge of the complete project can be saying as a tester, but no one, that is anyone who has some idea, or anyone who is not at all having the idea of any project, we are not going to say them as a testers, because a tester must possess each and every aspect that is available in that particular project. Okay, so this is the extension of the myth that testing is easy. Okay, testing is, so whatever we have seen as testing is easy, it is the extension of that particular myth. Okay, that is anyone can be a tester, but in reality the person who is having the complete knowledge of the project is going to be said to be as a tester, but not the person who does not have any idea about the project is not going to be saying as a tester. Okay, so these are the myths which we are available with, and the reality of the particular myths that we are having. Okay, so are we clear so far?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So what is the first myth that is we are having is testing is a single phase in SDLC. That is not the case. It is a process. Testing is easy. Testing is not that much easy. The person should have complete knowledge. That is second one. And software development is worth more than testing. That is also not going to be the case. Both are going to be having equal importance and with a little edge of one on the other. And complete testing is possible. That is an assumption, but it is not going to happen when the code is going to be a large one. And testing starts after program development. That is also one of the assumption, but it is going to start at the initial stage itself. And the purpose of testing is to check the functionality of the software. It is not the testing of the functionality, it is the quality of the functionality. And anyone can be a tester. It is not happening. So because one should have each and every aspect that is related to the what we say, the complete project. Okay, these are the 7 myths that we are having, and the realities what is available with the myths. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so moving on to the next topic, that is the goals of software testing. So what are the various goals that we are having for software testing? Let us see. So if we can easily check out this particular figure, which is available in page number 99, right? So software testing is having 3 different types of goals. That is immediate goals, it is having long-term goals, it is having post-implementation goals, it is having. That is immediate goals in the sense whenever you are going for taking any project, there and then itself you can go for the solutions of that particular uh, goal, that is that particular mistakes or errors or whatever we are getting. Long term goals are the goals which we will be keeping it for longer period of time, so where we are going to achieve these goals with the help of our quality of the particular product, right? And then post implementation goals are also the goals which we are going to see after implementation. That is, once we are going to deploy the project to the customer also, we need to undergo the process of bug discovery, and we need to go for the solutions of that particular bug discovery and all. So these are the post implementation goals that we are going to say. So coming to the immediate goals, we are having the goals like bug discovery and bug prevention. That is finding out the bug and clearing those bugs is the immediate goals of software testing. And coming to the long term goals, we are going to have the reliability, customer quality oriented things, and customer satisfaction and risk management. So these are the long term goals we are having. And post implementation goals we are having is reduced maintenance cost and improved testing process we are having as the goals of post implementation goals. Okay, so first thing which we are having is short term or immediate goals, we can say, right? So these are the immediate results after the performing testing. That is, once you are testing your product, these are the immediate goals that we are going to get. So these goals may be set in the individual phases of SDLC. Okay, so these can be kept in individual phases of SDLC, we can say, right? So some of them are bug discovery and bug prevention. So in discovery, we are going to discover the bugs, and in prevention we are going to discover the bugs with uh, clearing those bugs. Okay, so bug discovery is the immediate goal of testing, is to find the errors at any stage of software development. More the bugs discovered at the earlier stage, better will be the success rate of the software testing. Okay, as we discussed in the beginning time. So when you are discussing, sorry, when you are finding out more errors at the beginning phase, there you will be having the better results. Once you are getting the uh, bugs or errors at the lateral part, you will be costed more, and your project is going to be affecting more. So better to have the bugs found at the earlier stages. That is, bug discovery has to be, if we are getting any bug discovers at the beginning stage, our product is going to be a better one, as we found it at the earlier stage, and we are getting the success rate. Okay, so it is next second one is the bug prevention. That is, it is the consequence of bug discovery from the behavior and the interpretation of bugs discovered. Everyone in the software development team gets to learn how to code safely, such that the bugs discovered should not be repeated in later stages or future projects. So that is, once you are getting any kind of errors, we have to learn from those errors. That is bug discovery. From bug discovery, we should be able to get where we have done mistakes, and we will try to not go for the same kind of mistakes in the future when we are writing the code. Though errors cannot be prevented to zero, that is, as we cannot make it as to zero, at least we can try to go for the better one, that is better code. Okay, so these are the short term or immediate goals, we can say. And coming to the long term goals, we need to focus on the quality of the product, that is the quality of that particular product what we are developing. Then we need to go for the satisfying the customer. Then we need to go for the risk management of that particular project. These are said to be as the next set of goals that we are having as long term goals. So coming to the quality, software testing has to be done, reliability has to be done, that is it has to be relied, and the quality has to be tested by the testers. Then coming to the customer satisfaction, whatever the requirements that the user is going to give, we need to satisfy the customer with all the efforts that we are keeping in the project, and we should give the better qualitative project to the customer. And then coming to the risk management, we should give the customer a better project which is completely controlled or partially controlled with risk factors like cost, time, resources, and critical features, right? So all these things we need to focus when we are going for the long term goals. That is, we should give a quality one, a satisfiable product, and a risk free product to the customer. These are kept as the long term goals. And then coming to the post implementation goals, we should go for the reduced maintenance cost and improved software testing process. That is, after the deployment and the after the giving the project to the customer, once they are coming for the any kind of maintenance, we should take less amount of money. That is, the whatever the risks that we are going to encounter after the implementation have to be less one, because when the customer is satisfied with the efforts that we are put in, so they should not be overburdened even after the complete deployment of that particular process, that is complete deployment of that particular product to the customer with the help of our maintenance. Okay, so if it is getting any kind of errors in the product, so make sure that the cost or whatever the futures that we are going to give should have the less amount of cost to be charged from our end, that is from the developers end. Okay, and we should give the better qualitative process, that is improved software testing process we have to give for the customer when we are moving on to the post implementation goals. Okay, so is it clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Then, so a quick check with your syllabus, psychology for software testing, whether it is available or not, just to confirm me by looking into your syllabus. I will also check from my end. Yeah, it is there. Evolution, myths, facts, goals, psychology. Okay, it is available in your portion. A quick look, we will look into this one very quickly, and we can move on to the further proceedings, right? So coming to the next topic that which we are having is psychology for software testing. So how the psychology should be when we are going for this particular software testing, that is, so how we what we should follow and how we should undergo for this particular software testing, right? So we should see it as a single process but not as different phases. We are having different phases, but the complete process is as a single unit we have to see. That is, testing is the process of demonstrating that there are no errors. Okay, so we have to go for the testing by make sure that, that is by assuming that we are not having any errors, but our intention is to find the errors. So testing is the process of executing a program with the uh, instant of finding errors. So we will be assuming and we will be thinking that there are no errors, but we need to find out for the more number of errors as we need to produce a better and qualitative project into the market. Okay. So here coming to the psychology for software testing, a tester has to be having the complete knowledge, and tester should have the complete knowledge of that particular process, that is that particular testing and the particular product or project. And then testing, what is the differentiation between the process and phase should be understood and should be having in the mind of a tester. And what are the goals and what are the roles of tester he should have, and then only he could of that particular product. Okay, so moving on to the software testing definitions. So we are having multiple number of definitions which are given by more number of people, right? So few things we will see. Okay, so many practitioners and researchers have defined software testings in their own way, right? So testing is the process of executing a program with the intent to, that is with the intent of finding errors, that is given by Myers. Okay, a successful test is one that uncovers an as yet undiscovered error. Okay, so this is also one definition which is given by Myers. So first definition is saying that the testing is a process executing the program with the intent of finding errors. That is, so tester is going to see the product or the code as an unfinished one, or is having multiple number of errors, and his aim is to find only the errors in that particular product or program whichever is being written by the software development team. That is the first definition which is given by the Meyer. And second one is a successful test is one that uncovers an as yet undiscovered error. The second one is, so it is also, testing is also finding out the error which is not yet discovered. That is, whatever the errors are there in the book, that are fine. So if you are coming out with the new errors are also, that is also going to be said to be as the testing is the one of the definition which is given by Mel Myers itself. That is also one of the definition. And the next definition is, testing can show the presence of bugs but never their absence. Okay, which is given by Distra. So what he has given is, testing is showing the presence of bugs, but it never but never their absence. Okay, so once you are going for testing, it is to show the errors but not the absence of errors, is the meaning that the Distra has given for the testing. Okay, so likewise we are having several other definitions which are given by the Miller, James Batch, Jem Canner, and Miller, right? So Craig. So they have given various definitions. So a quick look into those definitions as well. So let us see what is software testing is. So software testing is an empirical investigation conducted to provide stakeholders with information about the quality of the product or service under test with respect to the context in which it is intended to operate. Okay, what is the software testing is? So whatever the process that we are doing, so it is an investigative process which are conducted for the betterment of the stakeholders view and to satisfy the stakeholder and to give a better and qualitative product to the customer. So which is the definition given by Sem Canner. Okay, so these are the various definitions that are given by various people. So out of which we are having two from Mayer, two from Miller, and several other Distra and all the other people, those who have contributed for the testing. Okay, right. So shall we move on to the next topic, that is model for software testing? Yeah, shall we move on to the next one, model for software
Yes, sir,
testing?
please go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Are we going little bit faster, or we are slow only? We are going slow only.
Yes, sir, it is fine.
Fine. Okay. So any breakage of volume in between, or audio is also fine?
Everything is fine, sir.
Okay, fine. So we will quickly move on to the model for software testing, right? So here we are having a model for the software testing. So that is which we are saying it as the software testing model, right? So a quick look into the model for software testing. So testing is not an initiative activity, right? So sorry, testing is not an intuitive activity, rather it should be learned as a process. Okay, so we are seeing it as, we are seeing from the beginning it is as a process. Therefore testing should be performed in a planned way, so that is everything should be planned and should be executed further. So for the planned execution of a test, to consider every element and every aspect related to the software testing. That is, what is there in the product, everything has to be there when we are going for software testing. Thus, in the testing model, we consider the related elements and team members involved. Okay, so here in this figure, we could able to see a system is there, developer is there, software is there, tester is there, bug model is there, testing methodology is there, testing is there, right? So then we are having results and we are having expected results. So each and every person and each and every aspect that is involved in a project is going to be there in a model for software testing. Okay, so it is going to have the developers will be there. So the developers will be developing the code in the form of software, right? So that will be sent into the uh, process of testing methodology for testing. So once the testing is done, we are going to get the results. So if you are going to get the results as expected, then it is fine. So if you are not going to get the results as we have expected, again the process is going to go for the software. It has to undergo the bug model, and it has to go for the tester, and again it has to go for the software team. Okay, so if everything is going well, then we are going to get the expected output. And if you are not getting the expected output, again we will be going for the, it will be moving on to the bug model, where in bug model every bugs are going to be identified, right? So that is the nature of the bugs and psychology of testing is going to be identified, right? So again it is moved on to the tester. So once it is going to get the approval, then it will go into the software team, and then again it will move on to the testing methodology and moving furtherly for the testing and results. Okay, so this is the model for software testing. Okay, system is going to be available, so developers are going to be available for the product. There we are going to write the code, or the process is going to be undertaken, so with the help of the software. Then it is going to be going for testing methodology, whatever the tools or whatever the process, what is the process that we are adopting to. So it is going to take that process, then it will be moving to the testing phase, where it is furtherly moved on to the results, where we are getting expected results. That is well and good. If we are not getting any expected results, that is what we are intended to get, if you are unable to get, then it will move on to the bug model. Then the bugs are going to be identified, right? So the nature, the type, the kind, everything is going to be identified. Then it will be moved on to the tester, and then again it will be furtherly forwarded for the software, and then it will be moving on to the, moving back again to the uh, testing methodology and tester and results, right? So the bug model, from bug model also we can move on to the tester, testing methodology and results. So if it is fine, then it is okay, right? So if the bug model is corrected, then also if you are moving on to the bug methodology, that is testing methodology, also it is fine, and then we can move on to the testing and results. So this is how the picture is going to be in the testing model. Okay. So here we are having software and software model, bug model, and testing methodology and testing models, right? So all these as the separate components in the software testing model. That is model for software testing. We are having three different components which are described here. That is software and software model, and bug model, and testing methodology and testing. So in the first one, that is software and software model, it is going to be dealing with the software and the model that is associated with the software. And in bug model, we are going to find the multiple number of bugs, and we are coming out with the multiple number of errors, we can say. And in testing methodology, wherever whatever the bugs we are getting, that we need to undergo for the solution, and then we need to undergo for the execution again. Okay, so then is it okay? Yeah, if it is fine, we can move on to the next topic. that is model for testing is, if it is fine, then yeah, we can quickly move on to the next one. Right, so the next one is effective software testing versus exhaustive software testing. Right, so in effective software testing, we are going to go for the each and every nook and corner, that is starting from the domains, modules, submodules, sub-submodules. And in exhaustive software testing, we are going to go for the testings. That is also fine. So, but we are not going to focus as much as we focus with the each and every nook. Okay, nooks and corners, we are not going to focus. Okay, so finally, we are having software testing as a process. So as we discussed, it is a complete process. So it has to be it has to be there from the requirements gathering, that is requirements gathering, requirement specification stage till the last stage. That is our intention, right? So the software testing has to be done with the help of plan, test case, design, execution, and the complete process. It has to go for, okay. So this is about software testing as a process and software, that is exhaustive software versus effective software testing versus exhaustive software testing. And next one is effective testing is right. So this one is clear, effective software testing and exhaustive software testing. So in effective software testing, we are going with each and every phase and we are testing for the bugs, and then we are going to go for the solutions. And exhaustive testing, we will be touching upon wherever it is necessary. That's it. Okay. So then the next topic which we are having is effective testing is hard. So effective testing is hard because it is detecting defects are hard to find. When are we done with the testing? So these are the these are the reasons why they are giving us as the effective testing is hard, because defects are hard to find, because we need to undergo each and every step by step, line by line coding to test for our error finding. So where we need to go for lot of time investment and lot of strain and stress as well, right? So secondly, developers become the familiar with their developed system. They overlook details and leave some parts untested. So that is how it is making defects are hard to find, that is errors are hard to find, because they will be writing the code, they will be simply leaving, right? So that is with an overlook, they won't be seeing those errors, they will be leaving it. So like that, we will be having the uh, difficulty in finding the defects. Okay, so the second reason is this factor actually searches for the definition of effectiveness of software testing, right? So since the exhaustive testing is not possible, we don't know what should be the criteria to stop the testing process. So a software engineer needs more rigorous criteria for determining when sufficient testing has been performed. Okay, so in this case, what is happening is effective testing is why it is hard, in the sense defects are hard to find, that is defects are hard to find, and when we are stopping or when we are done with testing is not known to the user, that is not known to the tester, we say. So because he is continuously testing for the errors and he is following uh, rules and regulations and every process he is going to undergo, right? So, but it is taking more time to get with those errors. Okay. So then moving on to this software testing as a process, as we discussed, it is going to be as a process that is starting from the requirements phase till the last phase. It is going to be as a process, but not as a phase. Okay. So the last one hopefully is the schools of software testing. So here we are having, yeah, everyone is available.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so effective versus exhaustive software testing only we are having, but the remaining we are not having, I think, into your syllabus. So effective versus exhaustive software testing up to that topic only I could able to see in your syllabus. Is it the same? So
Just
we
a
are
moment,
going.
sir. I will share the syllabus.
No, no, no. I am having the syllabus. I could able to see, but we have touched upon more topics that are not there in your syllabus, but it is related to us.
Yes.
The schools concept, I think it is not there in your syllabus. Yeah, the last topic is not there in your syllabus. You can check once again. You can check with your syllabus. So according to my knowledge, exhaustive up to that you are having in your syllabus. The schools concept is not there. Schools of software testing is not there. Testing as a process is not there, but that is fine. Up to testing as a process we have seen. Yeah, there you can check, no? Effective versus exhaustive software testing. Up to that only you are having in this particular chapter 1, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, up to that we have covered. So still if you are having any errors, sorry, any doubts, you can raise the questions, right? So if no other class is scheduled, we can cover this chapter 2 also. If any other class is scheduled, we can see the remaining concepts in tomorrow's class. Yeah, any doubts to anyone? So I could able to find at the last I could able to find 15 students.
Till now, everything is fine, sir.
Yeah, okay. Any other classes scheduled?
Currently,
Sir,
not, sir.
మైనర్ టాపిక్స్ టుమారో చూద్దాం సార్.
Sorry.
Um, Can we reschedule the class for tomorrow, sir?
Schedule the class for tomorrow, but it will be also similar to afternoon session. Same, might be 5 to 7 or like that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
You will be available at 5 to 7, sir, for tomorrow.
Hopefully, I am having 2 to 5 also.
Okay.
Yeah. So you might be heard about that MPTL exams or not. So I'm having 2 more sessions tomorrow for giving the exam. So after completing that, I can be free. So by 5,
Okay, sir.
you can expect by 5. 5 to 7 or 5 to 8 is also fine for me tomorrow.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay. So if you could able to schedule for 3 hours, then we could able to hopefully complete the first unit. Okay. So
Okay.
remaining
Okay.
concepts we can go for Monday to the all the remaining days.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Shall we close as of now?
Yeah,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Ma.
Sir, can you give the important questions?
No, I will check and I will inform you. Okay.
Okay,
Because the night I got this message that I have to go for taking the class. So that's why I'm keeping this your textbook itself as a reference, and I'm giving the note. Sorry, I am giving the lecture. Okay.
Okay,
Okay,
I
sir.
will.
sir.
I will let you know before your commencement of your exams.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Fine.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Fine.